Russia's invasion of Ukraine just a few days ago has absolutely rocked the stock market. And because of this, a lot of potential investors as well as current investors are very much so panicked. I strongly encourage you not to do so. But of course, the loss of lives and devastation of which I am intimately familiar with when it comes to war, it's far more important than investments, in my humble opinion. But in this video, I want to talk about 5 things that you should be doing to remain calm during such volatile times in the stock market. What's going on, guys? My name is Trey and welcome to Let's Talk Finances. On this channel, I specifically dedicate my time in helping you get out of debt, stay out of debt, reach financial independence so that you can begin building wealth. If that's something that you might be interested in, go ahead and subscribe to this channel right now. I would greatly appreciate it. Put down in the comments below how panicked you are right now regarding the volatility of the stock market and also the current developments with Russia and Ukraine. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. The very first thing that you need to be doing during these volatile times is arm yourself. No, sillies, not that type of arming. I'm talking about arming yourself with knowledge. You see, many of individuals currently in the state of the market are making decisions primarily based off of watching, let's say, one person's YouTube video. Specific individuals are saying, hey, a market crash is coming, sell off all of your investments, of which I would highly disagree. What I think that you should be doing is accumulating as much knowledge as humanly possible to help you make a good, concrete, educated decision. But along with that, let's go ahead and dive into how exactly is the Russia-Ukraine war affecting the market. In order to understand this, you have to first understand history. In history, up to date, there have been 5 major stock market crashes. The first of which being the 1929 market crash, the second being the 1987 Black Monday crash, the third being the 1999 to 2000 dot-com bubble, the fourth being the 2008 financial crisis, and the fifth being the 2020 coronavirus pandemic crash. If history shows us anything, it's that this particular type of volatility isn't the first time that it's happened and it won't be the last. And so yes, because there's a lot of instability, we're taking a hit on the market, but if you'll see, just as early as yesterday, the S&P 500 jumped up. Now, I'm not saying that this will continue or progress throughout the next few months. What you will see are a lot of fluctuations, a lot of ups, as well as a lot of downs. But understand that this type of correction is going to happen very periodically. The way that you respond to these types of developments is going to dictate what happens along your financial journey. So before you do anything else, before you watch one video and say, okay, I've made my mind up, I'm about to sell off all of my investments and stop investing, you need to take a good amount of time and do some research, reading, watching videos, whatever it is that whatever your mechanism is, do more of it. Planning is one of the best ways that you're going to keep from making these emotional-based decisions. Arm yourself with the right knowledge to make the right decisions and be comfortable in the decisions that you make. So along with that, one of the major questions that are asked, is the market going to crash? And I'm going to tell you now, I would be very, very, very leery of those individuals that are telling you, hey, the market is about to crash, sell your stuff off now. Because generally speaking, a lot of individuals are using clickbait just to get you to watch their videos, but the content is a little bit suspect in my opinion, because one day they're telling you, hey, stay the course, keep investing, and then the next day the video is, hey, sell your stuff off now. Anyone who's telling you that the market's gonna crash tomorrow, technically don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now, obviously, there is a lot of volatility in the market, but we don't know what's going to happen. In the last 6 major conflicts that the US has been involved in, the stock market rose in the following 5 to 10 years. In the stock market, the most important organ is not the brain, it's the stomach. Have the stomach to remember what your goals are. Continue investing, stay the course, and remember, why you're doing this. So the second thing that you need to be doing, take a long-term approach. You have to embrace a long-term mindset when you're going into financial investments for your financial strategy. You have to prepare yourself for the inevitable that's sure to come at some point. And what I'm talking about is the dips in the market. This is something that's always going to happen. And if this caught you off guard, then it would behoove you to go back and work on your foundational principles of investing. Because before you got into investing, you should have assessed what your risk tolerance is. And if your risk tolerance is super low, then your investments should reflect that so that you can stomach when these types of dips happen. Now, for those individuals who claim to have very high risk tolerance, then this really shouldn't be bothering you, should it? And if it does, is your risk tolerance actually high? You see, many individuals want to reap the benefits of such without putting in the work. Everyone wants to be a millionaire. Everyone wants the fancy homes, the cars, the boats, but nobody wants to put in the true work that it takes in order to reach and or accomplish those goals. And that comes associated with anything in life. You want that promotion? Well, you're going to have to work to get it. You want to become a special forces operator? Well, you're going to have to work up, go to selection, get selected, pass the Q course, so on and so forth. Well, the same principles apply to investing. Obviously, all of us want to be financially well off, but are you willing to put the work in to get to that point? Or when things get a little bit difficult, are you going to sell off your investments and say, the hell with all of this, I'm going to continue doing what I was doing? Well, if that's the case, I have to let you know now that your investment journey is going to be quite a tumultuous one, right? There are going to be a lot of downs, there are going to be a lot of ups, but can you stay the course? You have to remember that investing in index funds is a long-term approach. If you started to invest, right, and you're taking losses in the first 2 years, in the grand scheme of things, what does 2 years mean in a 30-year window? Doesn't mean anything. So that's why I barely even check my portfolio, because I'm in it for the long term. Doesn't matter to me what the market is doing. I'm going to continue investing because I know I've taken on a long-term investment approach. So it really doesn't matter what happens today or tomorrow. It doesn't impact what I decide to do in my investment strategy moving forward. Adopt a long-term approach in your investment strategy. Third thing that you need to be doing is dollar cost averaging. Now, obviously, when you're investing, you know that there's two mechanisms of which you can go about funding your investments. The first one being dollar cost averaging, the second one being lump sum investing. Once you've identified the index that you want to begin investing in, and you've also chosen the fund that you want to begin investing with, I would highly encourage you to not lump sum invest during these types of volatile times in the market. Lump sum investing basically being, let's say you came across a $50,000 inheritance and you've decided you want to put $30,000 into the market. Well, during these times, it's not the optimal time to do so. However, what I would encourage you to do is dollar cost average. So let's say you want to be investing $500 per month, $250 bi-weekly. Continue doing so until the market corrects itself. And when it does, then start lump sum investing at that point. The reason that this is very crucial, right? People want to drop large amounts of money into the market when they're looking at it and saying, oh man, like right now is the perfect time for me to invest because things are looking great. I'm going to drop $10,000 in there. Well, in essence, you're timing the market. Stop trying to time the market. You will not beat the market. Stop trying to time it. Have you ever played that game when you were younger, right? And you and your friends were at the playground and you were playing on the merry-go-round. And you spin that merry-go-round as quickly as possible, trying to see if you can jump your way onto that merry-go-round without breaking your neck, right? Well, that's essentially what you're doing when you're trying to time the market. The possibilities of you jumping onto that merry-go-round without, smashing your balls is very, very slim. So instead of doing so, why don't you just slow everything down and invest for the long term? Fourth thing that you should be doing, and if I'm being honest, I literally just changed my mind on this particular bullet. What I was going to say was diversify, right? But we already know that that's something that we should be doing. But instead of diversification, I'm going to say ignore the naysayers. You see, many beginner investors are desperately looking for someone to trust, someone to believe in that that has been doing this for some time. So naturally, you're going to gravitate over here to YouTube. The reason for this is not everyone is giving sound advice, right? Many of individuals are making you panic worse by telling you, hey, the stock market is about to crash. Be wary. Sell off your investments now. And unfortunately, a lot of these people are just in it to make money, right? Understand that you and I aren't the first individuals that decided to invest. This is something that's been going on for a very, very long time. And if anything, I want to recommend a particular book to you, and that is, I actually have it up here. This is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 financial books that you could read. And I don't get any kickbacks from recommending this to you. It's just a very good book. It's The Simple Path to Wealth. It explains to you that when these types of corrections happen, you should be happy because generally speaking, the price of these index funds are going to go down and you should buy the dip. Read that book if you haven't already. Remember, guys, ignore the naysayers, do your own research, and come to a conclusion that best suits your investment strategy. And the last step here, guys, remember your goals. You see, a lot of individuals that have gotten up to this point of investing put in a lot of hard work to get to a point where they can invest. So I'll give you an example. Myself, I was nearly $100,000 in debt and I couldn't even think about investing because I had so much money going out. But once I paid that debt off and got myself into a position where I was financially savvy, I understood the mechanics of finances and I understood the mechanics of investments to be able to build wealth to pass down through the generations. Life has a way of allowing you to forget the hard work that you put in throughout the years and you only start thinking about what's happening right now. You get tunnel vision. You have to remember your goals and you have to remember why you're even doing this. Just don't get so wrapped up in the BS and understand and reflect on what your personal financial goals were and what they are. Understand that being a millionaire or even accumulating wealth is very obtainable. You just have to have the right information and implement the right strategy to reach it. Be diligent in your efforts, and in the long term, you'll see that it paid off, right? So for those of you who have found any value in this video, I would highly encourage you, please don't forget to subscribe and also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm as I would greatly appreciate it. If it was obtainable to me and the hundreds of thousands of other individuals who were able to accumulate wealth through a period of time, it's obtainable to you as well. You just have to apply the principles, be diligent in your effort. Till the next time, guys, let's talk finances then.